Modern naval defenses are not supposed to be penetrated by a single ballistic missile. Carrier strike groups train for this. They simulate it. They build entire doctrines around preventing it. But on February 7, 2026, that system failed. An Iranian Fateh-313 ballistic missile exploded 2,100 meters from the USS Gerald R forward, less than 1.5 miles from the most powerful warship ever built, a $13.3 billion nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, 75 combat aircraft, 4,500 sailors, enough firepower to devastate a medium-sized country. Iran had just proven it could touch the untouchable. Welcome to Global Warfare TV. What happened that night sent shockwaves through every military planning office in Washington. The tactics Iran used have changed how the Navy thinks about carrier defense forever. Let me show you exactly how they did it. The Gerald R Forward Carrier Strike Group had entered the Persian Gulf 72 hours earlier. The deployment was a direct response to escalating tensions following a series of IRGC attacks on commercial shipping. The message was clear. American naval power was present, visible, and ready to respond. The Iranians saw an opportunity. According to intelligence assessments released later, the Revolutionary Guard had been developing a new attack doctrine specifically designed to defeat American carrier defenses. They called it Swarm Thunder. The concept was simple on paper. Overwhelm the defensive systems with multiple simultaneous threats, creating gaps that individual missiles could exploit. In practice, it was devastatingly effective. At 11:47 p.m. local time, Iran launched its attack. The first wave consisted of 23 armed drones, Shahed 136 kamikaze UAVs, each carrying a 50-kilogram warhead. They launched from 3 separate locations along the Iranian coast, converging on the carrier group from different directions. Flight time to target, 47 minutes. What's your tactical assessment? Were the drones the real threat, or were they a distraction? Comment your answer below. The Carrier Strike Group detected the drones almost immediately. The E-2D Hawkeye's radar painted all 23 contacts within minutes of launch. Admiral Christopher Denning, the strike group commander, ordered an immediate defensive response. 4 F/A 18 Super Hornets scrambled to intercept. The destroyer USS Mason prepared to engage with its rolling airframe missiles. Every sensor, every weapon system, every human eye focused on the incoming drone swarm. This is exactly what Iran wanted. While the defensive systems were saturating on 23 low-value targets, a second wave launched. 3 Fateh-313 ballistic missiles lifted off from mobile launchers hidden in the mountains near Shiraz. These were not cruise missiles. These were not drones. These were ballistic missiles traveling at Mach 8, descending from the edge of space at a 60-degree angle. Flight time to target, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. The AN/SPY-6 radar aboard the carrier detected the launches at 11:51 p.m. But there was a problem. The system was already tracking 23 targets. The radar's processing power was being consumed by the drone threat. By the time the new contacts were classified as ballistic missiles, precious seconds had been lost. According to the after-action report, this was the critical failure point. The system worked as designed, but it wasn't designed for this specific threat combination. If you're learning something from this analysis, hit that subscribe button. Global Warfare TV breaks down the tactics that actually matter in modern warfare. The USS Monterey, a Ticonderoga-class cruiser, fired 2 SM-3 interceptors at 11:52 p.m. These missiles are specifically designed for ballistic missile defense. They climb to the edge of space and destroy incoming warheads through kinetic impact. No explosive warhead, just pure collision at 15,000 miles per hour. Each SM-3 costs $15 million. Against the Fateh-313, they had approximately a 70% success rate. The first SM-3 hit. The lead Iranian missile exploded at 47,000 feet, its debris scattering harmlessly over the Gulf. One threat neutralized, The second SM-3 malfunctioned. Its kill vehicle failed to separate from the booster. $15 million worth of advanced technology tumbled into the sea without touching its target. According to technical analysis, the failure was traced to a manufacturing defect in the separation mechanism. One faulty component, one missed quality check. 2 Iranian missiles still incoming. The Monterey didn't have time to reload. The USS Gravely, another destroyer in the strike group, engaged with its own SM-3 battery. 1 missile launched. Direct hit. The second Fateh-313 disintegrated at 52,000 feet. 1 missile left. Flight time remaining 47 seconds. The Gerald R. Ford's own defenses activated. The carrier's 3 CIWS mounts spun up to maximum rate. The evolved Sea Sparrow missiles in the Mark 29 launchers armed and awaited targeting data. Every system on the ship prepared for terminal defense. But the Fateh-313 was too fast. Ballistic missiles don't give you time to think. They don't give you time to adjust. They fall from the sky like meteors. Either you stop them or you don't. The ESSM launched at 11:55:41. It climbed rapidly, its radar seeker tracking the incoming warhead. The intercept point was calculated at 3,400 meters altitude, directly above the carrier. The missile missed by 60 meters. What would you do if you were Admiral Denning in that moment? Brace for impact? Order evasive maneuvers on a 100,000-ton ship? Tell me in the comments. At 11:55:58, the Fateh-313's warhead detonated. Not on impact with the carrier, not even close to the carrier. The missile's guidance system had malfunctioned during terminal approach. War game projections had estimated Iranian guidance accuracy at plus or minus 50 meters. This one missed by 2,100 meters. Instead of striking the flight deck, it exploded 2,100 meters off the starboard bow. The explosion was massive, a 450-kilogram warhead creating a fireball visible for 30 miles. The shockwave rocked the carrier. Windows on the bridge cracked. Sailors on the flight deck were knocked off their feet. But no one was killed. No significant damage was sustained. Iran had missed, but they had also proven something terrifying. They could get through. The drone swarm arrived 6 minutes later. The FA-18S had destroyed 17 of them with air-to-air missiles. The Mason's ram system knocked down 4 more. The final 2 were eliminated by CIWS fire from the carrier itself. In total, Iran had launched 26 weapons at the most powerful naval formation on Earth. 23 drones, 3 ballistic missiles. American defenses destroyed 25 of them. One had gotten close, too close. Support Global Warfare TV by giving this video a thumbs up. Your engagement helps us continue analyzing these critical military developments. The Pentagon's after-action analysis was classified top secret, but leaked portions revealed the depth of concern among military planners. The Swarm Thunder doctrine had exposed a critical vulnerability. American naval defenses are designed to defeat sophisticated threats one at a time. They are optimized for quality, not quantity. When faced with simultaneous attacks from multiple directions using multiple weapon types, the system becomes saturated. Reaction times increase, intercept probabilities decrease, and eventually something gets through. The intelligence community launched an immediate investigation into Iranian capabilities. What they discovered was alarming. Iran had stockpiled over 3,000 ballistic missiles. Not all of them were as sophisticated as the Fateh-313. Many were older Shahab variants with poor accuracy. But quantity has a quality all its own. Internal simulations showed that a simultaneous launch of 100 missiles would overwhelm any carrier strike group's defenses. Some would inevitably get through. Even more concerning, Iran had been developing maneuvering warheads, re-entry vehicles capable of adjusting their trajectory during the terminal phase. These would be far harder to intercept than traditional ballistic missiles. American intelligence estimated Iran was 18 months away from deploying this technology. For 40 years, American aircraft carriers had operated with near impunity. They could project power anywhere in the world, confident that no adversary could seriously threaten them. The Gulf War, Kosovo, Afghanistan, Iraq. In conflict after conflict, carriers had launched strikes without fear of retaliation. That era was ending. The Persian Gulf had become a kill zone. Any carrier operating within 400 miles of the Iranian coast was now within range of ballistic missile attack. Admiral Denning recommended immediate withdrawal from the Gulf. His request was denied. President Mitchell understood the strategic calculus. Withdrawal would be seen as retreat. It would embolden Iran and alarm American allies in the region: Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait. All depended on the American naval presence for their security. Pulling out would shake their confidence in American guarantees. Instead, the strike group moved south, positioning itself 250 miles from the Iranian coast. Still within striking distance, still capable of projecting power, but with more reaction time against incoming missiles. The Navy accelerated its next-generation defense programs. The Baseline 10 Aegis upgrade, originally scheduled for 2027, was pushed to 2025. A new hypersonic interceptor entered emergency development. Laser weapons, long considered experimental, received priority funding for fleet deployment. Iran, meanwhile, celebrated. State television broadcast footage of the missile launches, claiming a direct hit on an American carrier. The footage was fake. Satellite imagery clearly showed the Ford undamaged. But in the information war, truth matters less than narrative. Iran's narrative was clear. America's carriers were vulnerable. The strike group remained on station for another 45 days. During that time, there were no further missile attacks, but the threat was ever present. Iranian radar constantly tracked American movements. Reconnaissance drones probed the defensive perimeter. The IRGC was learning, adapting, preparing for the next opportunity. The sailors aboard the Gerald R. Ford understood what had happened that night. They understood how close they had come. A missile guidance malfunction was all that stood between them and catastrophe. Next time, they might not be so lucky. The Gerald R. Ford returned to Norfolk 3 months later. Her crew received combat action ribbons for their service in the Persian Gulf. The near miss was classified. Most Americans never learned how close the Navy came to losing its newest and most advanced carrier, but the implications rippled through the defense establishment. 3 admirals were reassigned within the month. The Pacific Fleet commander was called to testify before the Senate Armed Services Committee in closed session. And somewhere in Beijing, analysts were already studying American response times, already calculating how to exploit the same vulnerabilities in the Taiwan Strait. This is the new reality of naval warfare in the 21st century. Carriers remain powerful tools of American foreign policy, but they are no longer invulnerable. Adversaries have developed the weapons and tactics to challenge them. Every deployment now carries risks that would have been unthinkable a generation ago. The question isn't whether American carriers will face this threat again. The question is whether the next missile will malfunction. Stay vigilant, stay informed. I'll see you in the next one.